No remorse, no mercy, just yank it off. Usually I'm a skeptic when it comes to airbrushing acrylic paints, which are water-based, especially when it comes to metallics. And so far I haven't found a paint that is very convincing. But this here, Kaleido's Colorworks, which is a sub-brand of Gallery, are starting to change my mind. And I actually found a paint that I like airbrushing for once. So today we're going to take a look at their metallic color set, and for that I'm going to paint a couple of sets of wheels and a small car model. Now, first that comes into the picture is the amazing packaging of their sets, very sturdy box and a big selection of colors, and of course a cleaner and a thinner. We have to shake those quite a lot because they have been sitting for a while, and as I said, the selection is quite good. How they will look on plastic we will see, and for that I'm going to use Kaleido's acrylic black primer, which is gloss in this case, but on some of the wheels I'm going to test the paint directly on the plastic just to experiment. So let's apply the primer first. I'm going to apply it using Gallery's Mobius 0.3mm airbrush, and let's start at 1 bar of pressure. You can take advantage of 10% discount from Gallery and Kaleido Colorworks using the code and the links in the description. Now this model is 3D printed, which means it's resin, which is an extra difficulty for the primer. There is some odor to it, but definitely not a bad smell. It's somewhat sweet. I'm laying it down quite heavy just to see what's going to happen. I'm going to even up the pressure. I want to get the glossiness of the black primer, so that's why I'm using this much pressure. But it's not that much, 1.1, 1.2. And now I have to let it dry. Now one thing about this primer is that it needs time to dry. It will be sticky for at least about an hour depending on your ambient temperature. Definitely through the 0.3mm airbrush, this slightly higher pressure is working better. Now the airbrush I have flushed with just tap water, and now I will do the final cleanup with their own airbrush cleaner. They have larger bottles, 200 ml, but just for the test that's good enough. You can do this with water, it will clean the airbrush just as fine. Maybe this is a little bit more powerful. Now here you can see the glossiness. That's like 10 to 15 minutes elapsed from the final layer. I have intentionally made the build-up quite high. I wanted to test how does the primer react when you just flood the surface. So there is some orange peel, but this is a very small model, so it can be expected. One thing that I have tested already, and I think I will show you, is that the primer can be sanded within 24 hours of application, which is, I think, not something very typical for acrylic primers or paints. The rims, they look even glossier, and I can't wait to apply the metallic colors on them. Now, here we have the tests that I think should be done. Of course, not on the actual body of the car or something that you're painting, but maybe a test piece. My glove is not leaving an impression, but it's still tacky. So I think this is the best moment to start applying the paint. First, I'm going to start with, let's say, silver, because this is a Mercedes car and silver is appropriate. It is very nice that there is a metal bow in each of these containers. Alright, the paint is in the cup and it's time to try it out. First time for me. I'll try with light layers. Now, on a health note, regardless if the paint is really non-toxic or not, it is highly advisable to use a respirator mask and some sort of extraction, because for one, oxygen deprivation is a thing, and two, none of the stuff that is inside the paint is meant to be in your lungs, so take the precautionary measures. Well, call me impressed. This is a very nice silver finish. The paint is not difficult to apply at all. It doesn't really care if you apply it on light layers or just normal. And the finished paint is rather smooth and the metallic effect is there for sure. So let's leave this to dry and try the other colors. Can you imagine how many times I need to clean the airbrush? Now let's try some champagne gold. Not too bad, actually quite good. Next in line is some red copper. Another awesome metallic color or metalizer color, and I have to say that the coverage is very good over the gloss black primer. Let's go ahead to the other colors. Next up, let's test the flashy gold. And we definitely have a difference between the flashy gold on the left and the regular gold, the champagne gold on the right. I have applied this one heavily just to test how it will dry. What will happen when it cures. Now let's test some colors that are more likely to be used in the military modeling, like gunmetal. Another quick observation is that this color is slightly more satin or matte even. As you can see here, we don't have that much of a reflection of it. Next on the menu, some stainless steel. Now directly onto plastic. Old Tamiya plastic, the rubber tires were on the rim. They're very nice. Again, a satin finish. Now let's see what the titanium alloy looks like. Another interesting color with great properties of the paint. Next in line we have the aluminium. After I finish with the individual paints testing, I will make a comparison between the different but not so different colors like metals and the golds and so on. The next color is quite interesting, tungsten steel. A bit of a bluish hue. As it happens quite often with acrylic paints, there is some buildup on the tip of the needle and it has to be removed, which is a quick swipe. Next to the test I'm going to put the zirconium black, and I'm going to do that on a chrome plated wheel from Fujimi, which has seen better days. This is a black color, but it has flakes in it, so it's basically a metallic black. Let's see how it will look after it dries. Second to last, we test the copper. These wheels are more than definitely greasy. And the final color is scorched gold. And now let's do a comparison between the similar looking metals. Now we're starting with the gunmetal. The next one is stainless steel. The next one is titanium alloy. Next up comes the aluminium. And finally we get the tungsten steel. As you can see, there is a definite difference when they are put together, but of course, having them one by one, you may miss that difference. But all look very interesting and good, in my opinion, that is. Next up, we have different gold colors. And first, we applied the champagne gold. Then came the flashy gold. And finally, we have the scorched gold. As you can see, three distinctly different colors. And here's how they look up close. This, by the way, is still sticky, not entirely finished curing. Copper comes in two different colors in this set. We have just copper and then the red copper. Here is the regular one and here is the red copper. And one color that's slightly off any charts. This is the what was zirconium black, and it is a slightly metallic black color, not yet cured for some reason. There is something on the rim that prevents it. And here we have the silver, which is on the model car and is very nice. The final thing I would like to do right now is to test the integrity of the paint. Tamiya tape, no remorse, no mercy, just yank it off. I will let this speak on its own. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, happy modeling, fellas!